Hello, today I'm in Gran Canaria and I really want to show you the Playa Feliz Hotel, which is in Bahia Feliz in Gran Canaria. I've been staying here for a week. This is my room. It's a bit of a mess in places, but I think you'll just get the idea of how it is. Come on and take a look.
When I booked this trip, I wanted a quiet, relaxed location, and this resort ticked that box. It's a beautiful complex situated right on the seafront. I'll be showing you my apartment, the bar, the pools, the restaurants, and around the hotel grounds. And I'll be letting you know what I paid later in the video. Straight out of reception, you've got the restaurant on your left, and I'll show you that later. And straight in front of me, there's the main pool and a large children's pool on the right. Every day there was a busy animation team in the morning. Sometimes there was a lot of participation and other times very little. Currently, TripAdvisor gives the hotel a rating of 3.9 out of 5 and Booking.com give it an 8.6 out of 10. And I would say I agree with those scores. I'd say they're round about right from my personal experience. I did travel with my husband on this trip and I think he would score it slightly lower because of his own personal tastes. The apartments have different settings, like here some are situated around the pool and others are on the path of the seafront with a direct view to the sea, or like mine, which was tucked away in a lovely garden. I feel any choice would be great. The complex has one bar with a stunning setting where you can watch the windsurfers, have a wine, have a coffee and just watch the world go by. Here it is, it looks like something out of the Flintstones with all those big stones on the side of it. The prices in the bar were a little more than usual, but the drink measures were extremely generous. At night the bar was very quiet as most people go to the hotel next door called the Orquídea, where TUI and other operators send you to eat if you have half board. The meals are served there at the Orquídea, which is a bit strange, though the restaurant in this hotel is open for breakfast and lunches that you pay for separately. I'll give you the prices a bit later when I cover the restaurant. But first, take a look at this beautiful view. You can sit and watch the windsurfers for hours here, and it's got the glass in front which protects you from the weather. This yoga and stretching class was one of the many activities that was arranged, and it began around 9 AM on the bowling green in front of the bar. Bowling on this green also happened at one point during our stay. I'm going to show you my apartment next, but first I'd like to show you just how close you are to the seafront. There's no big sandy beach other than just a few feet of sand when the tide goes completely out. And one thing to bear in mind is that this part of Gran Canaria is the windiest part, hence the windsurfers. And it did live up to its reputation on our stay, but it wasn't a problem. And I'll shortly have a video coming out with a walk down this seafront. Be sure to subscribe and you'll be notified when that video comes out. So now, let's take a look at my apartment. I was given a choice of apartments and chose this one, which was a 5-minute walk from reception. All the walkways were smooth and easy access and set with beautiful trees and flowers. One of the things I need to mention is that if you're going self-catering, there's a small shop on site plus 2 small supermarkets, a 5-minute walk from the hotel, as well as a selection of restaurants. The apartment was number 100, a 1-bedroom apartment with a kitchen and bathroom. My first impressions were that it was quite stylish and new, and indeed there had been recent renovations. It was certainly very bright and very clean. One funny story was that I'd requested a mattress topper for the bed, but somewhere communication and translation, we got crossed wires and the word topper had got confused for the Spanish word tapa, which meant lid. So on my arrival, housekeeping turned up insisting I'd ordered 2 pan lids. I've got to say, all the staff were very pleasant and helpful, and we all had a good laugh about that. And I will add that they did turn up and put on a mattress topper in the bedroom. The beds were very comfy and I slept really well. The apartment was quiet and comfortable, though we did have one day when the toilet overflowed through the floor drains but was fixed within 2 to 3 hours. It seemed to have been caused by a problem outside the apartment in one of the main drains, and we were the sort of nearest to it. It had pushed up the drain in the floor, which is a bit unfortunate, but it was all cleared up in a short period of time. So other than that, the bathroom was good, with a good shower gel provided, and a hairdryer too. Towels were changed as often as you liked. You had to just leave them on the floor in the shower and they would change them. Pool towels were also provided. The cleaners came 5 out of the 7 days, emptying the kitchen bin, making beds and cleaning the floors and bathroom. We paid for a late checkout as we got an evening flight, but housekeeping was determined to change the beds ready for the next guests while we were still in residence, which was quite irritating as it interrupted our final meal at the apartments. The patio has a basic table and chairs and a clothes dryer, and on site there is a laundrette, which is very useful. But the patio has no sun loungers and there is space for at least one on there. So now I'm going to take you to the restaurant and also let you know how much we paid for the week here. En route you can see the beautiful setting with lots of plants and greenery, which is very well maintained. So, for a week here with TUI, flying from East Midlands, we paid £517 each. We also hired a car for the week, which cost about £140. This was handy for day trips out and supermarket shops, as we were properly self-catering and the selection of foods in the nearby supermarkets was adequate, but a bit limited on the meat selection. I've still so much more to show you, but I'd like to add at this point that if you'd like to be amongst the first to see my new videos as they come out, please subscribe, which is free, and YouTube will post them in your feed as they come out. Subscribing also supports my channel and will ultimately allow me to make more videos, so please click like, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. So on this walk around the complex, I'm at the furthest point, and when I turn around there's an amazing view with the sea, and you are never further than this from the sea in whichever apartment you choose. What a beautiful view. I'm heading over to the restaurant now via the pool, which is central to everything. In front of me are more apartments and opposite is the restaurant. There's a very busy aqua aerobics class happening with an extremely enthusiastic fitness instructor who seemed to be doing most of the fitness training during our stay, and everyone seems to be having a really good time. These apartments are the nearest to all the action: the pool, the bar, the restaurant and reception. So if you've got mobility issues, you could be best placed here, but you're never more than 5 minutes from this area and the routes to it are smooth and easy to walk. At this point we're almost at the restaurant, which is situated next to reception. If you're on a half board or a full board package, you'll take your meals next door at the Orcada Hotel. Please watch my video about that hotel, which I'll be posting shortly, and I'll show you the restaurants there. And in the blue shirt there is my husband Alex eating his full English. As I mentioned earlier, if you're on a package, your meals are taken at the next door hotel, but this is Playa Feliz's own restaurant, where it does breakfasts for €14 and lunches which are around 12 or 13 euros per mark, which includes one alcoholic drink. My husband Alex had a full English breakfast. As you can see, there's a great selection of foods, but I was too busy videoing to try the food, but I can say the selection did look great. There's also a lovely children's buffet with cooked foods and a selection of fruits and yogurts. For the lunchtime service, they pull a partition across the room, halving the space, and it took me a few days to discover that this much larger and more impressive half of the restaurant existed, as I was never up there at breakfast time.
Thanks for watching right the way to the end. Much appreciated. Do subscribe if you haven't done already, and then you'll get to know when my next video is out. You'll be the first to know. Thanks. See you again soon. Bye for now.